Hey folks, welcome back. I'm going camping on my Ducati, first camp. So I'm going to go down to St Mary's Loch, I think. Have a wee camp down there. So should be good. Be my first camp on my new bike. So everything's on, it's all pretty secure. We're on our way to St Mary's Loch via Moffat for a night's camping. Used to come here with the kids when they were wee, when we lived in Dumfries, because it's only like half an hour away. Folks, so it's a wee bit later than I expected because my battery in the camera ran out and I forgot to take the spares. They're still lying in the house, so every time I go away camping or whatever I always forget something, and this time it was the batteries. So anyway, I managed to film most of the way down, but I wanted to film the actual trip getting into the campsite, but the battery ran out about 4 miles out. I've just managed to get it fully charged, but I've already put my tent and everything up, so I won't be able to show you any of that, but you've seen my tent going up before. So I'm at St Mary's Loch. There's a little campsite right on the shores and it's absolutely brilliant. You've got access to showers, toilets. It almost feels like a wild camp. You're literally right on the shore of the loch. I'll show you in a minute just how close I am. And it's a tenner. Absolutely amazing. And it's a fantastic run to get here. But I'll turn the camera around in a minute and I'll give you a wee tour of my tent, and I'll show you what's what with the camps. So this is my tent. Everything's, I've not bothered putting the guy ropes on because it's not windy at all. It's like still 23 degrees and it's like 7:20. So everything's all set up. I'm trying to keep it as organised as I can. I'm going to keep this zipped up just to keep the beasties out because they've got an annoying habit of getting in where you don't want them to. So basically my clothes and that's over there, my drone and my techie stuff, then obviously my sleeping bag, and I put my helmet and my panniers, my jacket in there. Everything at this side tends to be to do with cooking. I've got the Trangia set up just there, it's almost ready to go. I've had a beer already and I've also had the drone up while I was waiting on the camera. Whilst I was waiting on the camera charging, I put the drone up. So this is how close I am to the edge of the loch. It's absolutely brilliant. So there's a wee pier there. Folk have been swimming and jumping off it all day. So the white building in the background is the old inn. It's not an inn anymore. I think the people that run the campsite literally just live in it. So this is St Mary's Loch here. And across there's another loch. So there's only a thin strip of land where the inn is, and it's called the Loch of the Low, I'm sure, over there. So anyway, yeah, so that's my tent. So I'll just go for a wee tour. So the wee white building next to the inn, that's the toilet block. And the dome thing's the actual showers. So it's quite good that you've got access to showers and toilet facilities, and it's only a tenner a night. Absolutely brilliant. So there's quite a few folk camping, but there's nobody down near where I am. So there's two people on bikes here. There's a guy here on a BMW GS 1250. It's quite a nice looking bike. And then obviously there's me on my Ducati XDiavel. Pretty cool.
I'm going to dry it off, then you can stay outside.
So I went to Aldi's earlier on, got a breakfast pack for tomorrow morning, just a mini breakfast pack, but I also got some steak burger stacks. So it's basically 2 steak burgers, 2 haggis and tangy nacho cheese sauce, so it looks absolutely brilliant. I've also got 3 cans of Aldi's Brewdog. It's called Aldi PA or Aldi IPA. Anyway, they're kind of taking they've basically ripped off Brewdog with their own stuff, but they do that a lot and they seem to get away with it, but occasionally they don't. But it's actually surprisingly nice, so if you've never tried it, I definitely recommend it. It's quite sort of tangy and fruity flavoured. It's only 4.5% volume, but it's fine. I've got 3 small cans, that'll do me for tonight. There's a fly in the oil already. You can't get rid of the damn things. There's 2. I suppose extra protein, eh? There we go. Turn that up. Put the oil. There we go. Coming along nicely. Yummy. The haggis and the cheese waiting to be done, and the rolls. Yeah, makes a change from chilli. I do like the chilli right enough, but I just want something different. So burger and hamburger stacks, steak burger stacks. It looks delicious. I'm assuming it will be delicious. Two steak burger stacks, haggis and tangy nacho cheese sauce. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to tuck in. I'm not going to film myself eating them. I'll spare you that sight, but I'll catch up with you once I've had something to eat. Get the dishes all done. Keep the place tidy for tomorrow. Just set up my little wood burning stove, my mini one. Just burning a log, artificial log. Got a really good flame, a wee bit of heat, a wee bit of smoke. Keep the midges away. Got the citronella tea lights burning. Just keeps the wee flies and midges out the tent. I mean, the midges are not bad tonight. There is a few kicking about, but this is handy. It just stops them coming into the tent. The problem is because my sleeping area is inside that mesh bit, I don't get anything coming in during the night. You've just got to watch. You've got to make sure that you don't put the light on and have that bit open, because if you put a light on in the tent and it's dark, the flies and the midges and everything absolutely swarm in, and it's an absolute nightmare. But this is the kind of logs that I'm talking about. You just burn these. You buy them in home base and stuff. They're the kind of logs that you would use at centre parks. But they burn really good. You get a wee bit of smoke coming off them, but not too much. Anyway, cheers. Here's to your good health. You do get a nice heat off of that. after I used it the last time, it did discolour a wee bit. They do say that it discolours, but it cleaned up quite good and it wasn't really that bad. The main thing is it didn't warp, because I was a bit worried if it warped you wouldn't be able to put it back together again, but it hasn't warped, so it must be on the flight path for Edinburgh Airport, because there's quite a lot of planes flying. Well, not a lot. Every now and again you hear one flying over. The water is so still, unbelievably calm. There's a woman over there with a dog jumping about in the water. Apart from that, it's so calm. There was another young lad earlier on as well. He had his drone up, so we were having a bit of a chinwag about drones and stuff. So as well as forgetting to bring my batteries for my action camera, I forgot to bring my hip flask. But I think the batteries for the action camera were more important than the hip flask. I can survive without the hip flask. I just have to keep charging up my camera with the one battery in it. I've put my can, well I had 3 cans of beer. I put 2 of them in the water just to keep cool, so I've drunk 2, so I'm going to go and get the other one out the water. It's quite light and fruity, that Aldi's beer. A total rip-off of Brewdog, but hey ho. If they get away with it, why not? They don't allow any music of any type at this campsite, like as in music from phones or speakers or anything like that, but the only type of music that's allowed is live music. So if you bring a guitar you can sing, but you're not allowed to use a Bluetooth speaker or anything like that, which I think is a good idea, because it's nice. It's nice just sitting, chilling, listening to the owls hooting, the odd fish jumping, the sheep bleating. It's brilliant. It's so therapeutic. It's a cracking wee pier over there. A lot of folk going out onto it and taking selfies and photos and stuff. I think the RAF jets fly through this glen quite often. I've got my wee coffee grinder here. I've just put some beans in it, so I'm going to have a wee grind and make some coffee. Just turn it down so a wee faint glow. And my new filter holder from Amazon. Oh man, it smells amazing. I suppose I should really finish my beer before I drink my coffee. Might need to get a wee kettle. It's just a wee thing that holds 1 cup of water, but it's got a wee spout on it that lets you pour the water in slowly, and it helps to extract more flavour. I think there's as much water going on the table as going in the cup. This is the life, man. It's getting dark. Can just see a very slight bit of light on the water. Just cut another bit of this log. I might as well use it. Then there's nothing to take home with me. Give me a bit of space. Yeah, it's starting to get totally pitch black. I can see a few stars, so a bit of luck we might get something good on the old time lapse. Aye, so earlier on in the day it was a bit of a faff. I've got two panniers, so the panniers are not huge. One pannier had my pillow and my sleeping mat and some of my cooking stuff, and the other one basically took my drone, my sleeping bag and my power banks. So then I've got a 50 litre bag, and the 50 litre bag takes my tent, my chair, my table, a few other bits and pieces, my Trangia cooking set, poles, tarpaulins, etc. And it was pretty rammed. But then I had no room for any food or my clothes, so I had to use another bag, which meant, so the two panniers are on one on each side of the bike, and then the 50 litre bag goes across the back seat. It's all strapped down. Then it just meant I had to strap another bag on the top, which is not ideal, so I'll maybe see if I can get a 75 or an 80 litre bag. It might just be a bit wider, which is fine because there's plenty of space on top of the panniers. But it would make it a bit easier than having to strap another bag on the top. But I mean, to be honest, it was totally solid. I stopped a couple of times just to check it was okay, and it hadn't budged. And when the bike's up at speed, you would never notice the weight difference. It doesn't feel as if there's anything on the bike at all. But anyway, I left the house and I was going to get petrol first. And I'd taken the little fairing off the bike, and I thought I'd marked the handlebars and put them back in exactly the same place, but I hadn't. I must have tilted them forward, so the mirrors were too high and I couldn't adjust them enough, so I had to come back to the house and adjust the mirrors. Had to adjust the actual brackets so I could see. And also last week I adjusted the gear lever because it was quite awkward. It was quite low down, so I moved it up, but I moved it too far, so I just adjusted that a wee bit at the same time. So once I got that done and the mirrors adjusted, I was able to leave to come down here, and it was a great run down. And the bike's much better with the gear lever adjusted. It's a lot more comfortable changing up and down gears rather than it being a bit awkward. So yeah, it's all good at the end of the day. There's a guy and his wee girl all the way down fishing in the water's edge. I don't know if they'll catch much. Looks like they've got a bandy net. So I reckon in another, well, it's 25 past 10, probably by 11 o'clock it will be absolutely pitch black. So should be good for getting for doing a time lapse. Right, I'm going to switch the camera off now because I'm going to have to give it a wee charge so that I can do a time lapse during the night. So I will catch you guys later. Morning folks, it's 7:40 AM. I've been up for a couple of hours, had a shower. Showers are absolutely brilliant, by the way. So I've basically just been mucking about, I've not done anything. I'm going to make some tea in a minute. It's such a nice morning. It's so calm. I'll turn the camera around in a minute and you can see the view. It's absolutely stunning. This is the reason I do this. Waking up to a view like this. I'll go back and make some tea or coffee. I can't really decide whether to have tea or coffee. Probably just have coffee. Right, coffee time. Pour the coffee in. Now this is the hard bit, is getting it to pour without spilling, and you really want to try and get it to pour slow. Easier said than done. In fact, I've just had a wee thought. There is a wee lid for this cup. If I put the lid on, I might be able to get it to pour slow. Oh wow, look at that. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Right. Nice cup of coffee. Oh, it's good. Coffee's really nice. Can't you beat a nice cup of coffee in the morning? Especially with this kind of scenery. Going to have some porridge now. And I'm going to try out my new titanium spoon from Amazon. So I've got a spoon, a knife and a fork. Right, fill up to the fill line. Right, it has finally thickened up. Right, so that's us all packed up, ready to go. So, the campsite supplies wee wheelbarrows, so you can carry all your stuff back in one go, which is really good. Well, that was fantastic. Absolutely loved that. Really, really nice bit.